What's up, everyone, and welcome to Girl You Know What podcast, season, what was this, season six? Yeah, season six, episode four. I am Danielle.
And I'm Kisha.
And
And
so,
I sound like a frog.
well, it happens. It
Y'all,
happens.
because listen, the flu tried to take my damn life.
Girl,
And
ain't
I
no
mean, I'm
joke.
yet holding on to it by a thread.
That's it.
What is going on?
I
Is
don't
it a little
know.
poison mixed in this flu season? Like,
It's something.
my
But it's taking people
God.
down, okay?
Oh, my God.
And it's like, it's giving, and it's not just like a regular flu. It's just like, not only does it linger, which pisses me off.
Mm.
It's just like you start feeling better and then boom, something else happens.
Hey, and that's what my friend said yesterday. And I was like, I rebuke this in the name of
You
Jesus.
got
Because
to.
here he come talking about, well, have you been okay? Because you know, be careful. Because once you get better, you have to watch out because people start feeling sick a second time. And
Girl.
the crazy thing was when he said it, I was like, dang, my voice went hoarse. Because
Mm-hmm.
listen, a few days ago, my voice was perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went hoarse again. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And when he said it to me, I took a nap and I felt so weird while I was sleeping yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, God, am I finna get sick again?
Girl.
I said, oh no, I can't get sick. I start taking so many pills and syrups.
Girl, listen,
Uh-uh.
you just start drugging yourself, just
I
hoping something
can't
gonna
get
work.
round to it at. That was too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
I haven't been sick in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like, everybody stay away from me.
Right.
Like for the whole week. No, don't get by me. I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to talk to nobody. Don't come in my house. Like, no, stay back
Yeah.
because it's horrible. I don't want to feel like that. It's really
Mm-mm.
terrible. And the cough just lingers. I was seeing people in comments like, oh, I still have my cough 3 weeks later.
Girl.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah.
Oh, help, Lord, help.
Yeah, it's too much.
Mm.
Yeah.
Then the world is just exploding around us.
Girl, it's just like you were worried about, missing the couple weeks that we were off, because, you weren't
Mhm.
feeling good. And I was like, girl, I was like, when it comes back, I was like, ain't shit gonna been changed except for just, it's just gonna be worse than what it was just a couple weeks ago. And that's what's happening. It's just getting worse every day.
I mean, does he know that he's the president? Like, is he
I seriously
aware?
don't think so. I don't think.
I
Well,
don't
we
think
already
so
know he's not
either.
fully there. We already know that. Like just mentally, he's not fully there. Never has been his whole life, I'm sure. But he's
The
approaching.
whole like the way that he's treating like tariffs like it's like a game.
Yeah, everything's a game. Yeah,
Like, sir, this is people's livelihood.
he don't give a shit. They don't care.
So there's a part of me that like feels bad and it's like, God, this is people's livelihood. Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a part of me that's like, that's what y'all get.
Mm-hmm. Because let me tell you
Because
something.
y'all picked him. The
Yeah.
people who it's affecting, who we honestly, the best relief that they have received is like taxes.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the flip side, a lot of them have lost 70% of their workforce.
Yep.
So that's what y'all get.
And I'm gonna tell you when it really hit me was when they first started talking about all these, jobs and layoffs and firings and everything like that. And, like from where I work and I saw the people who were getting mad, I was like, oh, I already didn't give a shit because we told you
Right.
so. But when I saw the people who were the most upset and who are still the most upset,
Hmm.
and the ones you see, on these little clips and everything going viral from news around the country and stuff, Trump supporters who are now pissed because they lost their jobs and everything like that. I'm just like, y'all, what?
They feel betrayed. That's why
Yeah, that's what it
they
is.
because they I think I've been watching Southern Charm,
Mhm.
like rewatching it.
Mhm.
And then just watching them because they are a privileged group of white people.
Yeah.
And I just feel like white people are so shocked
Yeah.
because it's like this is how it feels.
Mhm.
Like they're not used to being in distress. We
Right.
live in distress.
Exactly.
And so it is a very weird thing to watch because it's like, hi, welcome to our world.
Mhm.
Like, this is the way that you all have been functioning in life. This is the way that you all have been treating people.
Yep.
And now you just get a dose of your own medicine.
Mhm.
That's why I said I'm kind of like indifferent. I feel bad because the just the regular part of me hates to see people, you know, struggling, hates to see people sad or flustered. But the other part of me is like, you're a demon. So
Mhm.
congratulations.
Yeah, you got what you voted for.
You picked the master that you wanted to serve,
Mhm.
you
That's it.
know. So
That's it.
there's that.
And like one of my coworkers said, y'all picked your hatred and greed
What I told you.
over,
Mm-hmm.
like thinking about your livelihood and your family
Yeah.
and you picked
You
all of
picked
that.
your racism because
Mhm.
my thing is always you all can actually see who your workforce is.
Mhm.
You see the people who show up for you every single day.
Yep.
For you to go in that voting booth and know for a fact, he said it out of his mouth,
Mhm.
and to know for a fact that if I pick this person, I'm not even a probably, I'm going to lose a majority of my workforce.
Mhm.
And for you to still go and pick that person, I don't know what you really are looking for from the rest of us.
Yeah.
You knew it.
Yep.
You knew it willingly. This is not even a case of Russian roulette. Remember, people used to play Russian roulette when we were little, and you put one bullet in a gun and you
Mhm.
just kind of spin the wheel.
Yeah.
You have a fully loaded pistol
Yeah.
and put it to your own head. What do you want us to do?
Yep.
What is it that, and I hated that people, I think it was a couple of weeks ago when Simone and Michael Steele were on that talk show,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Oh, y'all need to show some compassion." And people was like, "Yeah, he's right. He's right. You guys need to you're cheering because people are losing their job." And I was like, "Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Michael, you sitting here yelling at one of the 92 percenters.
Mhm.
She did what she was supposed to do. The compassion that she showed was in the voting booth.
Yep.
Don't you be a Republican and sit across from me yelling about who should show some compassion.
Yeah.
Because did y'all forget? Do y'all see him being black and think that he's not a Republican? I
Exactly.
don't think people know his track record. So
Right.
it was weird for me to see other black people like, yeah, show compassion for people.
Mhm.
And I was like, do y'all know who he is? Y'all can't
Exactly.
know who he is.
Right. Just look
You
him
you
up.
must not have a clue.
Yeah, don't pay attention to when Trump came
His
into
skin color.
office. Yeah, don't pay his skin color or just like his views when Trump came into office. He's still a Republican. Look at
Thank
him
you.
during the just go to the Obama administration. Just put in Michael Steele versus Barack Obama. That's all you got to do.
Like y'all. And y'all somewhere cheering for what he said. I was
Mhm.
like, y'all so in the dark. Just in the dark.
Yes, it's
No, we
ridiculous.
showed compassion when we
Mhm.
voted.
Yep.
We don't have any more to pass out. And that's what y'all do. Y'all sit and do stuff that makes no sense. Then look at black women to fix it.
Mhm.
Baby, no,
Yeah.
no.
And
I was not in agreement with that at
oh
all.
no, and speaking of black women, y'all stop asking where Kamala Harris is. She's busy being a
Enjoying her
fuck
life with her white
exactly.
husband.
Thank you. She's being a private
Good for y'all.
citizen. Don't be asking where she's at now.
Mm-mm. You didn't want to know where she was. You didn't want her to be where we wanted her to be for the next
Exactly.
4 years. So don't worry about where she is now.
I'm so tired of people saying, "Where's
Minding her
Kamala? What's
black
Kamala got to
business
say?" Exactly.
with her
Hello.
white man, and I'm gonna
Thank
keep
you.
saying it
Well, because that's what it is. But
because black men be the main ones have something to say about her.
mm-hmm. But y'all
So
voted
she's
for a white
somewhere with her
man.
white husband,
Mm-hmm.
and now he talking about he want to give drug dealers life. So I was on. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to get on my social media and say, Now, what was y'all saying in the back?
Mhm.
Where the dope boys at now? What y'all
Yep.
saying?
Exactly.
What the money be doing when
Yep.
he be in the street?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you
it.
ain't gonna get to enjoy it because you're gonna be in prison
For life. How about
for
that?
life. And
Mhm.
he said he wanted to give y'all the death penalty.
Yeah, the death penalty while he's a
Oh
felon.
my God. It just be that right there.
That's it. And y'all just
It
so
be that.
stupid. Yeah.
And y'all, but this what y'all
That's
wanted.
what y'all wanted.
Y'all
I
wanted the
mean,
money to flow.
yeah.
Child.
Girl. So, okay. So I want to talk about these major colleges, especially these, well, I'm not going to say major colleges. I'm going to say PWIs.
PWIs.
Yeah, getting rid
Mm-hmm.
of their DEI programs,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not surprised. And I'm gonna focus on, of course, our two of our biggest local colleges, Ohio State and
Yeah,
Ohio
I'd like to
University.
discuss this. I really
Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So, but my question is, before you get into your part,
Mm-hmm.
my question is, why are they only focusing on the black programs and black extension centers being closed, but they're not talking
Mm-hmm.
about the minority, other minority, like the Asian centers
Well,
that's.
because in the mind of everyone
Mm-hmm.
in the country,
Mm-hmm.
DEI means black.
Thank you. That's why they're, yep. Because those are the first centers
And
that you
there,
hear
but
being
now the
closed.
universities know. I mean, let's be
Right.
clear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The universities know that diversity, equity, and inclusion means anything that's not the norm.
Mm-hmm.
The norm is a healthy person, a white person, um, maybe someone from a two-parent household. This
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even include single parents. Like
Right.
we are when we say norm, they are talking about a white student who or a white person who comes from a two-parent household with a dog
And a white picket
and their
fence, all
parents
that.
is middle class.
Mm-hmm.
That is the norm in this country.
Right.
Even if you think the norm are single parents of any race,
Mm-hmm.
the norm in this country, the model which they was building them, what is them Norman Rockwell houses,
Mm-hmm.
the model for which they were building these neighborhoods, for it is a two-parent household, middle class, white with a dog.
Yep.
That is the model of a family in this country. So anything that doesn't fit that model falls under diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, and again, in the mind of a racist white person, even the word diversity, it's not even the equity and the inclusion because they don't hear that.
No. Uh-uh.
In this country, diversity means black.
Yep.
So immediately in this country, affirmative action, that's what it used to be in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Affirmative action meant black. But if you notice, they don't speak about affirmative action anymore because every time they brought it up, we pointed out white women benefited more from affirmative action than anybody in this country.
Mm-hmm.
So if you notice, they dropped the affirmative action conversation. We don't hear it anymore. It still exists.
Right.
Well, it did, but they don't want to talk about it because they're benefiting from it.
Mm-hmm.
So now, diversity, equity, I have to cough. Hold on, you
Okay.
guys. So now, diversity, equity, and inclusion is their new focus because there's the word diverse in the mind of a white racist. It's black.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think about equity, meaning equal playing field for everybody. What's an equal playing field? If I'm in a wheelchair, I should have access to this building just like everybody else. That is equity.
Right.
It means it's equal across the board. Inclusion. If I am a person with one limb, I should be able to be included in this club. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing that should exclude me from being a member of this club just because, let's just say, because you're a white girl from San Francisco and I'm a black girl from Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I should still have access and be included and be able to be a member just like you're a member. That is inclusion. But see, in their minds, the only thing they've heard is diversity.
Yep.
And I think it's crazy that white women, particularly, are allowing this to happen because there's a high number of autistic white children.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first place my mind went like, this goes back to the workforce being Mexican and y'all voting against it.
Yep.
The same instance here, because here your children who are autistic, who are mentally delayed, who you don't realize that your children are benefiting from diversity, equity, inclusion programs because your children are special needs.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, you saw diverse. Diverse meant black in your race's mind.
Yep.
You want the programs gone. And now what are you going to do about your kids? You're stupid. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
some of this stuff just comes down to plain stupidity.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Because now it's going to affect kids in the classroom.
Mm-hmm. And then
Y'all
not
dumb.
and then not only on the college level, but now they're talking about they're trying to really dismantle the Department of Education, which he threatened his last term as well.
And that is the classroom that I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is going to trickle down into like elementary classrooms, high school classrooms. Don't think that your kids are going to be exempt. They
Exactly.
have, because for kids who have physical disabilities, who they pretty much know in high school, they assume what your success rate is going to be. And if you have a physical disability along with the cognitive disability, they have some schools have special classrooms where they teach you how to wash your clothes, where
Mm-hmm.
they teach you how to cook, to be self-sufficient because we know that you're not going to get an education. We
Right.
know that you're probably already getting a social security disability check. You know, your mother is probably already collecting social security for you based on your disability. So
Mm-hmm.
we want to set you up for some sort of independence. Those programs are going to be gone.
Yep. You don't think about
It's
that.
like y'all don't, what they say, you can't see the forest for the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't think things through.
Nope. You just see what you're just a one track mind
Yes,
and
and all you see is we don't want black people to get the upper hand.
mm-hmm.
Baby, black women are the most educated.
Yep.
We already have the upper hand
Mm-hmm.
because we're not dumb.
Right.
See, that is what you believe. You actually believe that because in your mind, period, you think you're better than people.
Exactly.
It's one of the smartest things that Lyndon B. Johnson ever said, and I say it all the time. I've probably said it here at least 10 times, that if you make the poorest white man thinks he's that, excuse me, to think that he is better than the best colored man, you can pick his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been picking y'all pocket from day one.
From day one, and y'all steady letting them.
Because it's a lot of audacity that comes along with being
Mm-hmm.
poor white trailer trash
Right.
and acting like you are better than black doctors and
Yeah.
lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of audacity that comes behind that.
Right.
Like to have an attitude,
And
to
then
walk around and just be full of hate for people who can help you.
right. Yep.
I can't stand it. But I want to say this about the DEI programs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys, now let's be clear about this. I do not agree with the programs being removed clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want people to understand is they have to take them away.
Yeah.
Like, it is a Supreme Court ruling. And true enough, we may not see um the outcome. But okay, like Colombia. I guess Colombia protested against him.
Mm-hmm.
And I read something where they lost like $400 million of funding because he was upset. And I'm using that as an example
Mm-hmm.
because what's going to happen is there's a consequence if they don't remove the program.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people
I
don't
don't think
realize.
it's right that they still don't that they do it, because I point out, Roger Goodell, JB Diamond, they was kind of like, go fuck yourself, dude, because we're not gonna take it down.
Mhm.
So, excuse me. So, but people who don't have the power that the NFL has, companies who don't, and I know we're like, oh, well, I personally feel like these are private companies. They should be able to do whatever they want to do.
Mhm.
But I think what comes into play is they're publicly traded. Once they put you on the stock market and you start to have like stock options and the public buys into, I think my mind is telling me that that is where the line is drawn, because I feel like every private company who's owned by like Walmart should be able to do whatever they want to do. That's a
Mhm.
family owned company. It's a
Exactly.
very rich family, but it's a family owned company. I should do what I'll be able to do what I want. But when these decisions come down, and remember, John Roberts brought it up, like the people who don't heed to the court's ruling, there will be stiff consequences. So
Mhm.
there must be something
There's something
that's
in
going to
there.
happen that we just don't. I'm sure if we look it up, we can figure it out.
Mhm.
But there's some repercussion that will come if they do not follow that rule.
Yeah, because I think we were talking about that last episode we did
Yeah.
was when, it's like there has to be something in there to why these private companies, especially these large private companies that knew there was going to be backlash,
Yes.
like
But
they
and
had to
he made
adhere
a
to it.
point, and for him to make a point and to write that and to let people know, like, hey, because they saw it, they
Mhm.
saw that the ruling had went through, and remember, in the beginning, nobody was listening to that shit.
Right.
He wrote that, and it seemed like in a matter of weeks, everybody was dropping their DEI programs, so they must know whatever the repercussions are.
Right.
They have to know.
Yeah.
And
It
so
is
I feel
something in
like,
there.
do it. I mean, it's their shit. Let them do what they
Mhm.
want.
Yeah.
But also, quit taking your ass to them white schools. Quit
Exactly.
sitting kids over there.
We've been saying that since even
I've been
before all
telling
this
y'all from
started.
season one. Season one. We 6 seasons in. And
Mhm.
I've been telling y'all that from day one. Quit sending y'all kids to them white schools.
Yep.
And and the fact that y'all sent your children to white universities and colleges after George Floyd, I do believe that you all are mentally disturbed. I mean, I do, and I'm gonna just say it, and I don't care who gets mad.
Stand on that hill, girl.
I'm gonna stand on it. You've got to be mentally disturbed, because let's be honest, most of you who are sending your kids to those PWIs, especially who sent them post George Floyd, because some of y'all was sending y'all's kids the fall of 2019,
Mhm.
the fall of 2020. Like, y'all was sending y'all's kids right after they choked that man to death.
Right.
You're definitely special,
Yeah.
because you already been sending your kids to white high schools. So not only did you send them to a white high school, and your kids had to go to school the next day after George Floyd, in the battle and in the mix of George Floyd,
Mhm.
you said, I'm gonna send you to a white college too,
Right.
post George Floyd.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, you weird. You weird.
It's very
I
weird.
don't, how do you feel? It's just, I don't know how you felt safe. How did you feel safe? And I don't have the words, it's clearly.
Mhm.
Because it's just, it's no words for that.
I
It's
mean, do y'all
none.
really think that your kids are an exception just because they've been around, these white people, that they should be safe here? That they're not going to face any backlash when these white kids are going home to ignorant parents who are saying whatever, and then I mean, I don't know. I can't
And I
even
hate it when they
rationalize. I'm
say
sitting here
stuff
trying
like,
to
well,
rationalize it in my head.
this is who they went to school with.
Mhm.
Like, this is all they've
You
known.
stop it.
That is worse,
Yeah,
bitch.
that's the thing.
Do not tell people that.
Mm.
Do not let your kid be the only black kid And then I'm gonna keep saying this, and a black child of melanated complexion,
Mhm.
like a darker skinned child,
Right.
and you would say out of your mouth comfortably, well, this is all they've ever known.
Mhm.
They just they're comfortable around white people. I never want my baby to feel uncomfortable about the around the people who look like her.
Exactly.
That is a scary thought.
Yeah, and why would you say
What are
that?
you raising? And why do you, as a black parent, why are your kids not comfortable around other black people?
Mhm.
Because what the hell are you in the house saying about black people?
Yep.
Why are your kids scared of black people? Do you not? Do you not have any black friends?
Right.
Do your black friends not have black kids?
Cousins?
Just- That is the scare. That is the most like scary thing to me.
Yeah.
And I thought my kid was really proper, right?
Mhm.
I mean, because she talks like, um, but then I learned she only talk like that around me. She's like really a hood nigga around her friends.
Listen, that's
Okay,
how
I'm
they
cool with
do.
that. I'm cool with that. I'm
Right, right,
cool with that.
right.
Cause I thought she was a little white girl, a little Asian girl, honestly trapped in a black girl's body.
Yes,
Cause
come
everything
on.
she wanted is badak noodles, whatever that is. She be watching them five Chinese boys in that group, BTK. What's
E
they called?
I
Whatever they
think it's
is.
BTK, BT5, some
Child,
shit, I don't know.
I thought she was Asian, wrapped trapped in a black girl's body. And then I was like, oh, you secretly a nigga. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that, though. I'm
Uh-huh.
cool with that. You should talk a certain way around me and then be real with your friends. I'm good
Right.
with that.
Yeah.
But, child, I would be mortified if that girl was scared around black people.
Mhm.
That would just like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
because then I'm looking like, "Well, what the hell did I do?"
I would feel like a failure as a
Yeah.
parent. She can make every other mistake, but you got to be comfortable around your people.
And let me say this. So, my grandparents, especially my grandfather mainly, grew up in which is now, well, I mean, it's always been known as the King Lincoln district off of Mount Vernon area, that area. So, now we know when we grew up, that area wasn't that great. So, when but we still had family out there. My grandparent, like my parent, well, grandparents moved away from there when my mom was a baby. So, you know, but we would always go back over there. Like I
Yeah,
took swimming lessons at
right.
Maryland Pool, like we always
Right.
went to the
hmm
centers over there. And like I said, we still had family that lived over there. We went,
Right.
my grandmother, we went shopping on Mount Vernon because they still had stores over there like in the 80s.
Right.
So my grandfather always, and I would always ask, because I knew it wasn't what I knew. It was what
Right.
I knew, but I was just like, why do we go back over there? Like the neighborhood's not that great.
hmm
Like where my great uncle and my great aunts and all them, they still lived. I was like,
hmm
why do they still live over there? I would ask these questions as a kid, and my grandfather always told me, you may not have grown up there, but you did.
Yep.
You never,
It is so funny you say
uh
this.
huh,
You are so right because my mother is from Brittany Hills.
right.
She grew up on Argyle. They had a
Mm
house on
hmm.
Argyle.
Mm hmm.
And so, but at one period of time, they lived on 17th.
Mm hmm.
And um when I first moved in with her, I was like 9. I was a few months from being 10. And when she was like you said, when she was ready to put me in a summer program
Uh
or
huh.
find something to do, she took me to St. Stephen's. But
Right.
see, that was her neighborhood.
Yep.
That was what she knew. I had no knowledge of 17th, 23rd. Like I was not from there.
Right.
We lived all the way by Northland Mall.
Mm hmm.
But when it came time for me to have something to do or for me to get into programs, she took me over to 17th to St. Stephen's Community Center.
Yep.
And then another summer, because I went to school by Agri Green, she took me to Northeast.
Mm hmm.
But again, if that's where our parents, that's where they came from,
Yep.
that's what they knew. And
Yeah.
you're right, because my cousin, so that would be my grandmother's sister,
Mhm.
her kids, they at one time they must have lived in the area of Mount Vernon.
Mhm.
And my cousin and her mom lived in um the plaza. What's them apartments? The plaza was what the tall building, right? That's what they call.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
think it's called
they didn't
Sawyer
live in the
Towers now
tall
or
building,
something. Yeah.
but they lived in the apartments that was right behind Mount Vernon like,
Mhm.
so we used to go over there. And I think that's why the coming home is so important. I don't know if they
Yeah.
still have it
They
or if they
try to
still
do something
do
like
it.
that now, but they call it something, I think it's called like the community fest or something. It's something
Yeah.
different. They don't call it the coming home anymore, but yeah.
But I think that's why stuff like that is so important,
Mhm.
because you come back to the place where you grew up.
Mhm.
Just like they have the Northeast, the picnic,
Yep,
you
the
know,
different neighborhoods and
because
stuff, yep.
that's our area.
Mhm.
I would always, if I was home, I would always go to that, just because that's where I went to middle school and went to high school over there. I didn't
Right.
live over there, but those are my stomping grounds.
Right.
Agler Green, that's where we hung out.
Mhm.
So you would always come back to what you know. And Nana ended up, when she left Blackwell and they moved off of Argyle, she
Mhm.
ended up living in Agler Green
Mhm.
before she moved here to Dayton.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and so just like
So
my grandfather always told me, like as a child, he would say that, but he would always, but this stuck with me. Never be afraid of where you come from.
that's right.
Mhm.
That's right. Never.
Never.
And that's what's really always sad to me, to see, like you know what's so funny? I never aspired to go to a white university.
Me either. We talked. Remember in at Mifflin, we all talked about going to
Mm,
Central State. That was our thing.
oh,
We were like,
yeah, sure was.
yeah, we always said that.
Yeah.
And y'all
Like I
ended up going.
never
I didn't end up
and
going,
I'm
but
in
y'all
the and
did.
I'm talking about from middle school.
Uh
I
huh.
have never, but you have to think too, when we were growing up, Martin and Bill Cosby
Mm-hmm.
used to wear HBCU clothes,
Yep.
and A Different World was like the thing.
That's what really inspired me. I said, "Oh, the Cosbys went to Hillman," even though we knew Hillman
Eh,
wasn't real.
Right.
But it was
And we
like
had
we
and
didn't
I
know.
am very fortunate to have a best friend. And happy birthday, Bart. Yesterday was Bart's
Oh,
birthday.
happy birthday, Bart!
Today's my mama's birthday.
Yes, happy
Happy birthday.
birthday!
And so I was very fortunate to be really good friends with Bart. And Bart's
Mm-hmm.
sister went to Grambling.
Yep, sure
So
did.
we were in middle school, that was something that we knew, like, oh, Michelle is in Grambling. Like, she
Mm-hmm.
goes to a HBCU, and that was all the way down in Louisiana from
Right.
Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't go local. Like,
Right.
she went all the way there. And then in the future, to learn that when she went with Erica Badu was there. That was
Yeah.
her classmate.
Uh-huh.
So, she was always, I wanted to be just like Michelle. Like everything Michelle did, I wanted to do.
I know that's right.
So we were very fortunate to have her as a
A
model,
role model.
you
Yeah,
know.
she definitely was. Yeah.
So, I've never aspired to like go to a PWI, like never. And as
Mm-hmm.
much as I loved Ohio State, I've always cheered for Ohio State sports.
Right.
I
Same.
used to love the Fab Five, like Michigan
Yeah, me
basketball,
too. Yeah, that was the. I
but
always
I've
say that was the only time I ever voted,
never.
ever rooted for
I
Michigan.
used to love UNLV because
Mm.
Larry, what's his
Yeah,
name?
Larry Johnson and Stacey
Larry
Augmon.
Johnson went to UNLV. So
Mm-hmm.
I loved the sports,
Right.
but I never had a like dream to be a student.
Right.
No. And
Right.
my grandmother lived in Dayton.
Mm-hmm.
Like Central State was literally up the road.
Yeah, you had Central
Wilberforce
State
was
and
up the
Wilberforce
road.
right there. You had
Right.
two right there.
They're right there. So I never thought about like going to a white school. It
Mm-hmm.
never I wore so much Grambling stuff when we was in middle school,
Listen,
just because, it was what we knew.
yeah, I mean, I had Grambling, I had Morehouse, even though that was a
Yeah.
man's school.
Spelman,
Spelman,
like
Morgan State. Yeah,
it
it was.
never was a thing for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
And now what's so sad is these kids don't want to go nowhere.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
sad. It really
I
is
mean, y'all
sad.
just want to be dumb.
Yeah.
That's scary right there.
Like I am so happy. Like my oldest niece is in ninth grade, and since she was like in sixth or seventh grade, she's been talking about going to a HBCU. I am so
Praise
happy
God.
about that. Yes, and she still talks about it. So I'm like, okay, cool. We'll look. We're going to do all that. You're going to do all that. We're going to get into it. So now, even though the
Hmm.
two middle ones, they're only in second and third grade, but we are putting that in their head now because when I sit back and
Hmm.
think about it, that's when I was watching the Cosby Show and A
Exactly.
Different World, like when I was around their age, that's when like A Different World first came on. So I
And I
was
would
like, it
say
was
this for
already
you and your
ingrained.
niece.
Mhm.
She's in the ninth grade right now.
Yeah.
This summer, take a drive one weekend to like West Virginia State University.
Oh yeah. Even
Take a
Central in
drive to
Wilberforce.
like, yeah, just drive her down to Central
Mhm.
State.
Yeah.
Um, just so she can get a feel of the campus. It don't
Yeah.
have to be no people there, but
Right.
just so you can walk around and see what it is, so she can see it's not too big. Don't
Mhm.
be scared of it. What else is close?
Kentucky State's
West
not
Virginia
that
State,
far.
Kentucky State is not that far.
Yeah.
I feel like Coppin State is not that far because I
No, it
think that's
should.
in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of some that are like close.
And I said I'm definitely she.
CSU is only 4 hours away if y'all want
Yeah.
to make a weekend of that. But just try at least, even if you do one weekend a month,
Mhm.
that is three
Yeah,
schools
just right there.
that are right close so she can see how close it is. And then
Mhm.
maybe when she turns her sophomore summer, you go and
A,
you take her
a little
to
further.
go a little further, go to Alabama because there's a lot of schools in Alabama.
Mhm.
Or
She
go to
definitely wants,
Georgia.
yeah, Hampton. She definitely wants to go to Hampton, and she's been talking
Yeah,
about
or
Norfolk as
go
well.
to the East Coast.
Mhm.
Go to Hampton. Go to Norfolk State. You go over there, you can make it a drive because them is like right close by each other.
Yeah.
But take the summer just like you said, once a month to just drive and
Mhm.
just let her see.
Yeah.
Because it would be good to just kind of integrate it in with her. And then if you go close like Central, you probably can take the little kids, because that
Yeah.
would just be driving there, stopping in Xenia so she can see the town, and then just
Mhm.
coming back.
Yeah.
The little kids will be able to sit for that, so they can see.
Yep.
But we're not exposing kids to education, and we have to get them because they are so in love with Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, um, but everybody, you can be an influencer from college.
Oh yeah.
And I think they see influencers and they have one picture in their mind of
Mm.
it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But you can be an influencer and still be a college student.
Yeah. I don't
You
understand
know,
why you just feel like you can't go to college or learn a trade or something like
because
that and still
listen to
do
me,
the
you're
other
not going
stuff.
to want to keep your whole life
Mhm.
public all the time.
Exactly, but
And
that's
at
all they
some point, you're
know.
going to want to break.
Mhm.
You know, There are going to be moments you're going to get discouraged. There are going to be moments that you don't get all the views that you think you deserve.
Mhm.
Like everything's not going to always go the way that you want it to go. And we have to kind of instill that in them because what we see now is people get so depressed.
Yeah.
When things don't work out the way they want, I don't know. It's like this generation just seems overly depressed
Mhm.
when things don't work. And
Oh
it's
yeah, they
like,
fall apart.
baby, my
It's the end of
God,
the
I
world.
know y'all wouldn't have survived.
Oh, hell no. And I tell them that all the time. I'm like, "Are you really serious right now? Are you really falling apart over this?" Like you have
Are
no
we
idea.
crazy?
Yeah, you have no clue.
I wonder sometimes, like we just and I'm about to say something that's very controversial. I told somebody the other day, like, why we didn't do the things that y'all do or the things that we see kids do? Because our parents used to beat the shit out of
That
us.
part. We were talking about that at work the other
Mhm.
day. Me and a few of my
A lot of
coworkers.
that, I
There's
said,
no
if you pay
way.
attention, you do not see a lot of us in our 40s, 50s being diagnosed as autistic and
Mhm.
shit like that. I said, because our parents used to whoop our ass.
Yeah.
Those tendencies and those traits that
Right.
are getting a lot of kids labeled as autistic, when our parent told us stop
Mhm.
and we didn't stop, we got our ass whooped.
Yeah.
So also we learned don't do that.
Right.
stop doing that.
Exactly.
Even if it was gonna be a hint of autism, they beat it out of us. And I'm
Listen.
not necessarily saying beat as an abuse,
Right.
but they whooped your ass and corrected the behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what we see a lot of unchecked and uncorrected behaviors
Yeah.
is what we actually see, and we're labeling it as autism
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of spaces. A lot of times, kids who are not verbal, you're not reading to that kid.
Mm-hmm.
You're not giving them the verbal cues and verbal attention that they need.
Yeah.
But see, God forbid you say that, because then parents begin to feel attacked. And it's like, no, nobody's attacking your parenting. We're just saying, kind of take time with your baby.
Mm-hmm.
You did have it, you did want it, right?
Right. It's like don't
So,
just label something and then be like, okay, this is what it is. This is we're just gonna have to deal with this. No, I mean there are other things that you can do, or at least dive deeper. You
and we
know.
had this conversation before, not me and you, but I
Mm-hmm.
was talking to somebody else, and it's somebody who we went to school with, and their child was diagnosed with autism.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my friend, I said, you know what's weird though about them saying that that kid has autism? I said, he acts just like his daddy. Like, he don't talk much, but neither does
Right.
his father. Like his
Mm-hmm.
father's I said, so these people are assessing your kids, not knowing what type of parents these kids have.
Right.
Like,
That's
he
true.
actually has a lot of traits that his father has.
Mm.
And we know it ain't nothing wrong with his daddy, but I'm just saying, it- they're asking your kid to meet a standard that's a white standard.
That's what it is too. Yeah.
And I would be very apprehensive about them telling my black son that he's autistic.
Mm-hmm.
I think, of course the boy's like, he's grown now, but I'm just saying, like, back then, nothing about him seemed to really, I think, like I said, a lot of it be just unchecked behavior.
Oh yeah,
A
totally.
lot of it. Because I told somebody this. I said, have you ever thought about when we was in school, the people who you saw get pulled out to take medicine when we was in elementary school? Them was all white boys.
Mm-hmm. That's yeah. I never thought about that. That's true.
You never saw them
Uh huh.
giving medicine to black kids.
Nope.
The kids who always got called out to go take their medicine was little white boys.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all better watch and pay
Listen.
attention. If Dr. Umar ain't told y'all nothing, he told you don't let them give them psychotropics to your kids.
Child.
Don't let them give them to your little boys.
'Cause that's what they want.
That's what they want to do.
And then when they take them off of it because the health care goes off and they
Hmm.
start wilding out a different way, and that's what they
Hmm.
want.
And then they're
So
gonna put your kid out of school.
yeah.
And then they try to, and this is why you need to discipline your kids and check them and pop them, because what they're gonna do is start threatening that if you don't get the kid medicated, or if you don't do this or you do that. And also, the American Disabilities Act helped with that,
Mm-hmm.
because we used to tell a lot of my clients, well, we can't force you to be on medication.
Right.
But see, sometimes the school would tell parents, if he's not medicated, we can't have him here
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh
he's too
yeah.
much of a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And so now y'all getting all these little quirks, and everything is getting lifted, and it's no DEI. It's going a minute. It ain't gonna be no protection under the ADA.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
I'll tell y'all.
It's coming. It's just a trickle down effect. That's what's going to
And then
happen.
y'all's kids gonna be the one that's gonna be left because y'all can't afford private education. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what they gonna do. They're gonna start removing their kids away from being in school with your kids.
Yep.
And it's gonna be back like Brown versus the Board of Education.
That's what they want. That's
But it's
exactly
gonna
what they're
be
going
for the
for.
poor kids. It
Uh-huh.
ain't gonna just be
Black and
black
white.
kids. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be poor kids are gonna be the only ones in public education,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be barely getting taught. And all the kids who can afford it are gonna be in up at school where they paying,
Yep.
because that's what they want to do anyway.
Yeah, that's what the goal is. And y'all so fucking stupid. Don't even oh my gosh. All right,
Child.
so we got to talk about this bitch, Stephanie Lovins.
Who was that?
The
Oh, the Mexican restaurant lady?
yeah. And I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's typical.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
hate Mexicans, obviously. So for you, I'm sure most of y'all know by now. So here in Columbus, there's a restaurant. I don't know if it's a chain or not, but Casuelas or whatever it's called is a
Mhm.
Mexican restaurant. And most of these Mexican restaurants, their staff is Mexican, Hispanic, whatever. So not all, but majority of them. So I guess she claimed she had bad service, and uh, the server Ricardo, which I don't of course need to know his last name, but that's his name. He I guess he wasn't up to her standards, I guess. So on the receipt, instead of giving him a tip, she gives him a tip, okay. She says that she hopes that Trump deports your ass, basically. That's what she said. In the
Mhm.
dummy, she crossed out her name on the receipt that she wrote it on, but she put her name on the other receipt. So, of course, him being the G that he is, he posted both receipts. And they
Mhm.
found her ass. She's a realtor with licensed everything. Bitch lost her job. I think she was with Century 21. I think I could be wrong, and which is a huge company, and
Mhm.
she lost her realtor license. But for me, I thought it was, and then now the bitch got the nerve to somebody set up a GoFundMe for her.
And it was the speech on the GoFundMe. I sent it
Listen,
straight to you.
yeah. I was just like, I mean, so
Uh-huh.
she's trying to take accountability, but mainly
No,
to help.
no.
No,
You
bitch, you
want the
sorry
money.
because
You're
you
not
want the
taking no
money.
accountability.
No, 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 no.
You meant what you said.
Yes,
Say it with your chest, bitch. Stand on it. You done
right.
lost your real estate license. You should have went and got a broker's license. So you could have just opened your own shit and been racist to all the other white people who you service.
There you go.
That's what you should have did.
There you go.
But now you out here begging for pennies.
Uh huh.
Bitch, go get a job at the Mexican restaurant with Ricardo.
Exactly, because that's where you're going to be, and I mean, it's just like, but I thought it was so funny because not what happened, of course, because that's bullshit, but just how it happened and what I mean,
In
because
her
it's so
speech,
in her
she
speech,
she made a regrettable decision, which she has
girl,
learned from her actions. Girl,
stop it.
what they used to say in the learn these nuts. Nobody
That's
care
it. Don't nobody
nothing
give a
about
shit.
you
But it's so
saying nothing.
typical. It's just like you hate. It's just, but it's such a fucking American thing, a white racist American thing. It's just like you don't like these minorities, but
But you love their
you
food.
love their food.
You love Cinco de Mayo.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Get your goofy ass out of
Yeah,
here.
get the fuck
I
out
was
of
thinking
here.
that watching Southern Charm.
Mm-hmm.
Because on Southern Charm one season, Catherine Dennis, who is a descendant of Calhoun, the
Mm-hmm.
vice president, who was the vice president twice,
Mm-hmm.
John C. Calhoun, I believe that's his name.
Yeah.
And so she is a descendant of Calhoun. Calhoun owned, of course, numerous
Oh,
slaves,
of course.
and it was his dying wish to keep slavery. And they had a monument of him in the park in Charleston, South Carolina, where the show
Mm-hmm.
takes place.
Right.
Well, during the George Floyd situation, they took his statue down. So she got into it with a radio host and used something about said a comment about minority privilege
Mm-hmm.
and put a monkey on the text train when they were talking on her
Yep.
text exchange, excuse me. She used a little monkey emoji.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing that is like really funny to me in this whole sequence of events is that not only did she do this, get into it with this black radio host, it was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It was then found out that she was dating a black man
Oh, of course.
during this. And
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I don't know what white women's aggression with black women is once y'all start dating black men.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've never had an issue with black women on this show before. And now all of a sudden, y'all be having black penis. I'm gonna say the word.
Go ahead.
And y'all go crazy
Mm-hmm.
on black women. Baby, we don't want him. The moment he started sleeping with you, and this just me personally, the moment they start sleeping with y'all, I never want to touch it again. And I
That
don't think
part.
nobody should touch him. I mean, because it's become very evident that y'all don't shower.
I mean,
It was a joke on the show in a different season where one of the girls' roommates She was born and raised in France, and her parents have a restaurant in Charleston. And her roommate said, I don't even want to fold these. Mind you, they were clean leggings.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, how many days did you wear these? She said, I only wear them like 2 or 3 days straight. He said, yeah, says the person who takes a shower every 3 days.
See, see here, and here's the thing: they really think that they are so pure and don't stink and don't sweat like they just glisten or something and
And
just
they actually,
funky.
and that is what's disgusting
And they
about it.
talk about it.
We're talking about a girl who actually goes to like Orange Theory, who cycles,
Yes.
who like is working out on a regular
Not
basis,
only that, you're a
and
fucking
you're
woman.
showering every 3 days.
Yes.
It's despicable.
That's
So I'm gonna
ridiculous.
say it again. The moment they touch y'all, I'm done.
Keep it.
Y'all can have him, baby.
Yeah.
I'm cool on it. I'm cool. It's filthy. And if you look and you look at them, even when I'm watching the show, I'm like, look at the bottom of your feet.
Yeah.
The bottom of your feet gonna tell me everything I need
Everything I
to
need to
know.
know.
Because there's no reason on God's green earth that your feet are dirty.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why, because if you are taking a shower every single day, even if you don't physically take your rag and wash your feet,
Mm-hmm.
you're standing in water.
Exactly.
You're standing in soap and water. So if you're telling me that your feet can't get clean just from the water being on you, your feet are soaking in water the whole time you're in the shower.
Yeah, the whole time. I mean, seriously. So
If
that
you
says
take two
enough.
showers a day, if you just take one, so that let me know right there. I notice it when I'm watching the show, like these guys are showering more than the girls.
Oh, yeah.
Shep, Craig, and Austin be wet more than the women do. Like they taking a shower when they wake up. They not doing them guys don't do nothing without taking a shower.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all disgusting.
Yeah.
Them girls be nasty.
Just nasty. Ugh. Oh,
Girl.
okay.
But yeah, you
Ugh.
brought that up
Mm-hmm.
about the Mexican guy, and it made me think about that show because, of course, they was at the Mexican restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they go somewhere, they got to get some Mexican food.
Yep, they love
Oh, I
Mexican
like it
food.
spicy. I like it hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, and all y'all hate Mexicans,
Exactly. Vote against
hate
them.
black people.
Everything. Yep.
They
Mm-hmm.
went to I think it's called Osberg or whatever it is. It's a Frank Lloyd Wright house,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this compound that I think it's in Tennessee, and you can stay there. It has like 7 or 8 rooms. It has a huge main house.
Mm-hmm.
It has like an activity center where there's a basketball, it's a bowling alley, but it's all on this big like compound. Child, who they have out there cooking?
Mexicans.
Soul food,
Oh, black. Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go.
black
Black
eyed
hole. Yo,
peas,
yeah.
macaroni and cheese.
Uh-huh.
It was smothered green beans.
Yep.
And Whitney, Miss Patricia's like the richest person on there. She's worth like $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
As Whitney is her son. And Whitney was like, they have some of the best soul food you ever tasted in your life. I said, baby, if y'all don't do nothing else, y'all love niggas. And I'm gonna
Exactly.
tell you, y'all want Negroes to cook and clean for
Mm-hmm. That's
y'all.
it. Yeah, that's it. Y'all can do that. Yeah, y'all can do that for us. But
Listen.
yeah, but you can't live amongst us, but you can serve
Oh my
us.
God, no,
Yeah.
you cannot. But I
Uh-huh.
will say, Miss Patricia and Whitney, they probably the most non-racist people on the show.
Mm.
Miss Patricia love her. This it's a black doctor. He's not really on the show, but he shows up to parties sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she love him. She love him. She think he is the best. Eddie, that's his name. Baby, she love Eddie, and he is a doctor and bald head and dark skin. And baby, she love
Oh,
Eddie.
that's what they
She
love
hug
too.
him so tight. Oh, every time she see Eddie, she hug him so tight.
See.
And when Catherine, the little racist, when she
Mm-hmm.
made that comment, Patricia was like, I'm through with her.
I know that's
Put her in
right.
Siberia. I'm done.
See, is it
I'm
that
not
hard?
trying to help her.
Is that hard? Like when
Because
what I
everybody should have a
mean,
line in the sand.
exactly.
How are you living your life without a line in the sand?
Mm-hmm.
To say, that's enough for
Yep.
me. no, that you have shown me your racist card and I'm through with
Mhm.
it.
Yep.
I'm cool with this.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. For me, I'm not, I'm pretty open about this. I used to be very conservative. I'm still conservative in my
Mm.
beliefs
Mhm.
and views, but I think Donald Trump was the place where I got off the Republican Party train.
Yeah.
Now, of
A
course,
lot of
I
people
voted
did,
for
unfortunately.
Obama, and all the other Democrats, but um, I just, I was talking about this for myself earlier that once Trump entered the Republican Party, it's damn near like you voting with the Klan at this
Oh
point.
yeah, totally.
I can't, you know, as conservative, because if we're honest and if you are a Christian, you probably have very conservative beliefs.
Mhm.
And I ain't talking about them evangelicals. They are not real
That's
Christians. And I would
yeah.
like for people to stop using them as the benchmark.
Right.
Find you a black church to kind of model after.
Mhm.
I would say New Birth is a good place for if you're looking for a Christian love and like how Christians behave, how black Christians act,
Mhm.
because it is not the same as evangelicals. And
No.
what I've been noticing is black Christians are getting judged based on evangelical behavior.
Oh, of course.
We are not the same. And it's time for us to start speaking up and saying it. I have no problem saying it. Black church is not evangelical church.
Mm-mm.
Black Jesus is not the same Jesus that evangelicals serve.
Exactly.
And I think we need to start drawing a line in the sand where that's concerned and saying, you are not with us. And I'm fine with saying that. I don't care. And I will shout it to the mountains. I will post it every day. I don't care. We are not the same. So now I feel like the Republican Party is the Klan.
Mhm. Totally. Yeah.
It is not the love of the Lord.
Mm-mm.
It's not.
They just use it as a shield.
Definitely. There there's a scripture that says you have the look of a Christian, but you don't have the zeal. Like you don't actually have it.
Mhm.
That is them.
Oh, totally.
They want you to believe that they are, but
Mhm.
they are actually not. Because nowhere in that Bible do you hear hate. There are principles that we are supposed to live by. There are things that we are supposed to do and not do, but it tells you to love your neighbor the way you love yourself.
Mhm.
You know, we a lot of times we focus on the principles without focusing on the love. And if we're being honest, if you are not quote unquote a Christian, the principles ain't for you anyway.
Right.
I don't know why people get so wrapped up in that. Those
Mhm.
principles are not for you to live your life by. You have not accepted the calling. So don't worry about those. But just know that we as Christians have a responsibility to love you the way that we love ourselves,
Mhm.
to extend neighborly love to you, to not treat you bad, and to treat you the way that Christ would treat you. And that's with open arms and with love.
Right.
This Republican Party, I'm going to keep saying it, Ku Klux Klan
Yeah,
all
totally.
day.
1000%.
I mean, it's no way for y'all to get away. Like that lady said in that video, for the rest of your life, you have got to deal with the fact that you voted the same way as the Ku Klux Klan.
Mhm.
And if you're on the side of the Klan, I can't be on that side.
Right.
And I think any black person, what did we just talk about? Line in the sand?
Mhm.
If the Klan is voting for it, I'm voting against it. I
Exactly.
think that's a good place to start.
Yeah. I mean, that's all it would take for me. I'm like, "Oh,
You are
okay."
black. The Ku Klux Klan hates you,
Mhm.
but you would vote with them?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Because you feel like,
where
"Oh,
are we?
if I vote with them, then I'm the exception. They'll like me. They'll respect me." That's what it's all about. That's
I
what it
don't
comes
even know
down
if
to.
y'all thinking about it. I don't think
That's
people are
true.
thinking about it
That's
that black and
yeah.
white.
That's true. That yeah. I
I
mean,
don't even
sadly.
think. I think people, because I always tell people, you can reason away murder.
Mhm.
You can reason anything away in your mind. And that's why I say get you a benchmark.
Yep.
Let the Klan be your benchmark. If the Klan is for it, I'm against it.
Yep.
I mean, these are simple things,
You would
especially if
think.
you're black.
You would think.
You would think that would be simple.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if the Klan has endorsed him as a candidate, I probably shouldn't.
Right.
No, not these new people.
No, because they up at the White House celebrating for that little fake ass, talking shit for that little fake ass, Black History Month celebration where you didn't see not one white person in that room. You ain't see Trump in there. You ain't see Elon. You ain't see none of them in that room with y'all. But y'all just steady in there cheesing and,
And
uh,
for y'all to have the audacity to hold Jamal's picture up in there,
I mean, and he's the only one that is truthfully,
and you heard what he said, pull up.
yeah,
I ain't scared.
he ain't scared.
He said they didn't want him to preach that day. He was like, I'm not backing down from there.
No,
Y'all know exactly where I'm at.
right. And who are
Pull up.
y'all? Yeah, y'all ain't
And
gonna do
like he said,
nothing.
I'm from Baltimore.
Exactly.
Do
That's
you
what y'all
think I'm
forget.
scared of y'all?
That's what y'all forget. Take the robe and everything off. Jamal Bryant is straight Baltimore, so
It's
you ain't gonna
yes.
know.
Like that's a Negro.
Yeah.
Sorry. That ain't Dr. King. He may be embodying the service of Dr. King,
Right.
but that's Malcolm
Mm-hmm.
mixed with a little bit of Fred.
That part.
Don't play with him. And don't play with us because we don't play about him.
Exactly. That's what you don't
That's what you
realize.
failing to realize.
Right.
We not gonna let you get close to him.
Exactly.
We see what y'all did to Dr. King.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Ain't
we not gonna
happening.
let that go down.
Uh-uh. Whew,
Girl.
girl. So on that note,
Okay. It's been a Sunday.
well, I'm glad you made it through.
Child, I'm yet holding on. Y'all hear me coughing? It
Yeah.
is trying to take me. I feel that's the crazy part. I feel fine.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop coughing.
Yeah.
I'm on
That's
my second bottle of cough syrup.
listen, just down it, girl. Not at once. Not at once.
It's
I'm just saying,
crazy.
yeah, it's bad. It just
Oh my
you can't get
gosh.
rid of it. It's sad.
Mm-mm. On that note, you all have a wonderful week. You can reach us at girl underscore you know what, at Wellness and Women, and at Danny B Speaks. And I really want to take the time to tell my mother, happy birthday. You
Yes,
did
happy
an amazing
birthday.
job. You raised an amazing child.
Yes.
And you're being a great daughter and you're taking excellent care of your mother. And I
Yes.
know that we don't talk about it enough and you don't feel seen all the time, but we have to take a moment to say that as a family, we appreciate you and we love you. And we appreciate you and love you because you always support us. We always support the podcast.
Yes.
You've been asking to be on since day one. And
Yes.
I think your time is coming. I think Christmas, we're going to let you get on the
There
podcast
you go.
because I'll be
Yes.
home for Thanksgiving. I'll be home for Christmas. So I think Christmas, we're going to all sit together and get on the
Yeah,
podcast.
that'll be amazing, definitely.
All righty. Well, you guys take care. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.